What's up guys, it's Quick and Brick, and today we'll be doing a video on LEGO Star Wars 18 plus diorama sets and the future of this series, along with set ideas that I think that LEGO would really benefit from doing. First off, I want to say that I have these two diorama sets and I don't have any others except for these two at the current moment of this video, and so I'm going to be basing a lot of the stuff that I get into on these two particular sets. So I have the Yoda's Dagobah Training Hut and the Final Duel set. And yeah, these sets are all from the original trilogy, and we'll get into more of why they should branch out to other areas later on. Before we get into the future of these LEGO Star Wars diorama sets, it only makes sense to look at the past. So the first diorama style 18 plus set actually came out in 2021, but it wasn't part of the diorama line. It was the Darth Vader meditation chamber set, and as you can see by the little plaque, it was still using the helmet style 4x6 tile and plate pieces rather than the 2x6 tiles, which just shows that this was the beginning of the line, and I count that as one of these 18 plus sets. Now, why did the Vader's meditation chamber come with a plaque similar to those of the helmet series? Well, that's because the helmet series was still in progress at that time. And the helmet series ran from 2020 all the way to 2023. And this series line of sets only did helmets. They didn't do any heads or specialty droids. As they stated, they wouldn't do C-3PO because his head was a head and not a helmet, which is the one main flaw I had with the series and why I think it ended so abruptly. Now, with that said, I think they could have gone at least 2 more waves or years of sets. They could have done a battle droid, more clones. They only did 2 clones. They could have done more variation of the clones. They could have done, like I said, C-3PO. They didn't do any from the sequel trilogy. Kylo Ren's helmet, First Order Stormtrooper, one of the Sith troopers would have been cool, maybe a Praetorian Guard, but we never got those sets. Next year, we're rumored to be getting our first prequel series diorama set, which again follows the footsteps of the helmet series in that the 3rd year is the year we finally get stuff other than the original trilogy. Now, without further ado, let's get into the set ideas list. Now, for episode 1, the diorama set that I would most like to see in the near future is the Duel of Fates. And this set we've had one iteration of back in 2016 with the Rogue One launch of sets. We had a cool feature where if you push down, you could pop Obi-Wan up from the pit and fly up to cut Darth Maul in half. It was a cool set, and I definitely think this set is extremely likely. I think it'll come out in the next 2 years at the latest. I think it'll be around $60, and it'll have the 3 figures, and it'll basically be the same set, but it'll be more for display and less play. Moving on to episode 2, Attack of the Clones. I could have done Duel on Geonosis or like the actual Geonosian arena, but instead I'm going to try to stick away from the duels because I'm thinking of doing a separate video on the duels beside episode 1, because I think that set is a given at this point. But for episode 2, we have the Droid Factory, and this set could come with Padme, Anakin. You would get C-3PO with the battle droid body, and maybe like 1 or 2 Geonosians, probably only 1 because it's Lego, and then R2-D2. And the set would just be like the conveyor belts. You probably get one of the buckets that Padme stuck in, maybe a lava dumping, or not feature since it's 18 plus, but like it would look like maybe a build of the lava pouring in. Maybe some of the doors open up. I don't know, we just never had that scene. I think it would translate well into a LEGO 18 plus set. Now, episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Now, this set is our first micro scale set that I had in mind, and I wanted it to depict the opening space battle scene from that movie with, of course, the 2 interceptors with Anakin's Obi-Wan's. Obviously, they'd be micro scale, and his would be, I think, is green in the scene. You get a few ARC 170 starfighters, maybe the Invisible Hand, and then maybe some of the Separatist shuttles, like a Vulture droid, a Tri-Fighter. You could get some of those. And yeah, so I thought this set would be around $65, and like the whole back of it would just be black, maybe some stars for space. And I'd really like to see LEGO make space in a set in micro scale. Rogue One is a movie that we've only gotten a handful of sets based off of. We got 1 wave back in 2016, and we've gotten a few sets since then, but we haven't really gotten a set like in the last 5 years at least. And I feel like LEGO's missing out. Maybe hopefully they do something for the 10-year anniversary, or just hopefully something soon. Like we never got the big AT-AT with the orange belly. We never got that. We never got that landing craft. But for this diorama set, I thought we could, obviously the Battle of Scarif is really iconic, so I think that and micro scale would do well. So you get the big tower, a few of the AT-ATs, and maybe some ships flying around. So this set, I think it would be a bit more expensive. It would be in the $80 to $90 range, since you have to build the whole beach and then the tower. There's just a lot to Scarif, and I feel like a micro scale set depicting that battle would be really, really cool. Moving on to the original trilogy, we got New Hope, and the set I would like the most would be a Millennium Falcon interior setting. Now, we already got a set similar to this with the Holiday Special set, but I'm talking about more of a bigger set with a cockpit, more of the rooms, and just based off the original trilogy, first of all. And some of the features you could have maybe the floorboards come up to hide your figures. You would also have a new hologram chest, a few of the hallways. I just think this set is very iconic to episode 4. It would make for a perfect 18+ set. Empire Strikes Back. Now, I could have done anything from Cloud City, since Cloud City has really cool architecture that I feel like would pop out in Lego form, and they've only done it a handful of times, but they've already done it. So I think they will touch more in Cloud City, so I'm going to leave Cloud City out. So we're going to do the micro scale Battle of Hoth. And I feel like they really should do these battles in micro scale sets, since you can't do the minifig scale because they're so big. So I feel like it would work well with micro scale. And this set I think would be a little bit cheaper than the Scarif set because it's more simpler. You just have the Hoth base, the big wall, and then you can have a few AT-ATs. Maybe you throw in some AT-STs, but I think it would be very simple. And we also kind of got this with one of the May 4th promos, but I'm talking about a bigger. Just think of that set if it was $60. Now, for the last of the original trilogy with the Jedi Return, what is it called? Oh my god, what is it called? Return of the Jedi, yeah. Return of the Jedi. Big Star Wars fan, obviously. So if Lego's not going to make a bunker anytime soon, I really hope they make a $50 diorama style Ewok Village set. And this set, they made a Master Builder series type set back in, I think, 2013, and I feel like they probably will remake that set, but I feel like that's just really big, and I feel like they should have an alternative, like a smaller $50 set, and depicting the iconic scenes. Like, you could have the bridge with Luke and Leia, where they find out they're sisters. You could have the scene where they're, like, spinning, roasting Han Solo, throne with C-3PO. You could have a lot to a set like this. For The Force Awakens, I chose the battle between the Millennium Falcon, TIE Fighter, on Jakku with the Crash TIE Fighter. And this set, think of, let's just say, the Tatooine micro build, just like similar to the Hoth one. Think of this, but a little bit bigger. I think it'd be like $55. And I just have this big sand dune with a big Star Destroyer poking out, fly by. And then you could also get 2 TIE Fighters to also fly in junction with it. You could also get a mini build of Rey Speeder. And yeah, it would just be a nice, small, simple build. Now for these last two, these are very similar. For Last Jedi, Episode 8, we have Snoke's throne room. And this I put at $65. And that's very similar to the playset we got back when that movie launched, I think in 2018 or 19. But yeah, I had that set, but I recently sold it as I've just had it too long. It was getting dusty. And that's because the set that we have isn't that good. There's supposed to be this big elaborate room with a big red background. And in the set, the only red you get are Praetorian Guards. And yeah, so the set, I think would be $65, just the main focus, get the red, big wall, and then give Snoke, you could just have Snoke. It just has the same figure selection as the last set. You get Snoke, Rey, Kylo Ren, and 2 Praetorian Guards. And it would just be, instead of play, with all the functions, it would just be a display piece. The last set idea on the list is based off of Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, and we have the Emperor's Throne Room. And no, not the Emperor's Throne Room from Episode 6, we're talking about Episode 9. And although the scene that I'm talking about is very controversial, and that not a lot of people like the film, I still think like the Snoke's throne room, it would make an excellent display set. Because you have the big crane, Rey, Kylo Ren, Palpatine. You only need those 3, just like this set. You don't need any other extra characters. You have the big throne with the big crane, and you have a spot at the front to duel with. And yeah, this set really wouldn't go as expensive as this set, considering it isn't based off the original trilogy. So I'd say at most do a $60 set, but we just never gotten that scene, and I hope we eventually do. So that concludes this video. Now don't forget to comment down below what quotes you would put in these sets, as well as your own set ideas. in order to win my Christmas giveaway going right now. And yeah, that's it for this video. I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.